Hi everyone. This is most definitely the hardest video I've ever had to make. Actually, scratch that. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And that includes doing a partial differential equations course back in the University of Oklahoma in 2002. I love making videos here. I absolutely love doing that. And this channel has been such a huge part of my life. But it's time to move on. So, in saying that, for the final time, hi, I'm kneppyinvests. Okay, back in 2010, I started my investing journey. I did all the research. I did or compared investing in the stock market versus property versus art versus stamps, all that sort of thing. And during that investing research journey, I discovered this quaint little thing called cryptocurrency, and that included Bitcoin. Now, I wasn't that enthusiastic when it came to Bitcoin. I thought it was quite stupid, quite ridiculous. But at the time, I had this buddy who also a new investor. His name was Roger, and he absolutely loved the thought of decentralized currency. And his enthusiasm eventually rubbed off on me. And after about a few months of doing further research, in February of 2011, when Bitcoin hit about $1, I think it was just on $1, we decided to buy 10,000 Bitcoins, so 5,000 Bitcoins each. Now, at that point in time, it was a fair bit of money for me, and I was definitely much more of a risk taker than I am right now. And I thought possibly it was worth the risk. And I still remember the conversation when we hit that buy button. I thought, this might be, in fact, I think I said it, this might be the dumbest or the smartest thing I've ever done. And I have no doubt that Roger would agree with me on that. But anyway, we did it anyway. We bought some Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin, I think, fluctuated a fair bit of time after we bought in. But after a fair bit of time, I almost forgot we had it. Life moved on. We weren't, definitely I wasn't checking the Bitcoin chart every single day. And it was just one of those dumb things that you do on occasion when you're young. And we kind of laughed at it over the next few years. But then Bitcoin made a move. This was in 2013. We started to hear Bitcoin more in the media. This was popular media. Bitcoin's prices started to go up. And I was thinking at one point, maybe we should sell, take the profits, that sort of thing. And Roger wasn't keen on that. And we just saw the price of Bitcoin keep on rising. And then in April 2013, the price of Bitcoin got to $100. And I still remember seeing it get to $100, and I tried to call Roger, and the message I received was one of those, this number is no longer connected or something like that. And I was like, oh, have I called the wrong number? What's happened here? Maybe Roger's changed phones. But I then discovered that not only was his phone disconnected, all his socials are gone. He had just disappeared. No one could get in contact with him, not only myself, his family couldn't get in contact with him. And this was weird. We went through all this stuff and we kept a Bitcoin on this hard drive that he actually kept. And I could not find that hard drive. And my first thought at that point in time, and this could have been an absolutely awful thought, that he just skipped town with Bitcoin. That's it. Now, there was a possibility that he had something bad had happened to him. Maybe he had been murdered. But the very fact that phone disconnected, social media's everything's gone. He's just disappeared, and alongside him disappearing, he's the Bitcoin gone with him, and that was really nefarious in my thought. I thought he just disappeared with the Bitcoin. I thought he had done the dirty on me, and over the years, I have heard whispers. Someone said they saw him in Thailand. This was a family member. Someone else thought they saw him in Costa Rica. I can definitely see Thailand, but not Costa Rica. That's not really the sort of place he would go to, that part of the world. One friend, a mutual friend, swears he saw him getting high in Amsterdam. wearing this Hawaiian shirt and no shoes. And that sounded exactly like what something Roger would do. So I actually believe that. I believe that's the most likely scenario, that he went to Amsterdam, he loved getting high, yeah, wearing Hawaiian t-shirts, wearing no shoes, that sort of thing, exactly what Roger would do. So I believe that. Or I believe maybe Roger was living a dream on some remote beach in the world, sipping cocktails with half of my Bitcoin. So I went through a range of emotions. So initially quite angry, obviously really angry, then bitter. Eventually, I just became numb because over time, over a period of time, anger and bitterness, it's not helpful. It's not healthy. Numbness, I suppose that's not either. But eventually, I just had to accept it. I had to move on. Not only would I never see Roger again, I would never see my Bitcoin again either. And during this time, I did continually see the price of Bitcoin going up. And I could do the calculations in my head how much my Bitcoin was worth, but that would not be healthy, because do the calculations yourself. 5,000 Bitcoins at the prices it has been over the last few years. Yeah, the calculations just scare me. I know it's a lot. Anyway, as you all know, I'm selling my house and I've bought some land, buying a new house. So I do have to pack everything up, and I'm going through all my stuff, and I'm not neat. I don't order things. And I was going through this one box that I haven't looked at in years. And what do I find? I found this hard drive that looked eerily similar to the hard drive that Roger used to put our Bitcoin on. And I was thinking at that point in time, surely not. Surely not. All these motions were going through my head at that point in time. Uh, would it be? And I had this slight fear that even if it was, that it wouldn't work, because it was looking fairly old, over 10 years old. So I did plug it in and it worked. And even though I wasn't really expecting anything, there was the Bitcoin. Yep, there was the Bitcoin. Not all of it, but most of it. So when I say most of it, I'm speaking about my Bitcoin, 5,000 Bitcoins, but also there was quite a few extra Bitcoin there as well. So 3,000, so 8,000 Bitcoin. And I thought, and I sort of knew, that what Roger did was he took that 2,000 Bitcoin and just left. He just had enough. I think maybe of his family. He wasn't the sort of person who would talk through his feelings. I didn't know if he was going through anything. I don't know his family really well. He didn't really have a girlfriend or anything back then. So I just thought he skipped town. He just had enough. He skipped town with 2,000 Bitcoin, which would have been enough for him to survive on wherever he wanted to live. So possibly he did go to Amsterdam. Anyway, so I don't know what happened to Roger. He's living his life. Uh, that's not of importance to me, because what I do know is I have all this Bitcoin. And the next thing I had to decide upon, this was last week, was what am I going to do with all this Bitcoin? So I decided to lead my life as normally as I would. I recorded some videos, put those videos online, that sort of thing. But I decided I needed a plan. And then I came up with this really good plan. And my first thought was, where do I want to live in the world? And for those who know me, would know I love the mountains. In fact, I've told a few people in the past that my ideal place to live in the world is the Colorado Rockies. And so I did find a place on the weekend, this mansion in the Colorado Rockies, absolutely perfect location for me, with a nice lake out the back, a beautiful lake with a 14,000-foot mountain in the background. Absolutely perfect. It also has a landing strip, and I can name this mansion myself. It has a name, but I might rename it myself. I'm not sure what I'll name it. Might name it in honor of Roger. I don't know. Maybe something like Neptopia. I have no idea at this point in time. I also have decided I'll be raising alpacas. I thought probably a good thing to do. Something, a nice little hobby to do, raising alpacas. And I've also been thinking maybe I should have retreats. So maybe hosting silent meditation retreats, maybe holding retreats for cryptocurrency billionaires. That'd be a good thing to do. I've also commissioned, this is another thing I've decided to do, commissioned uh, two 20-meter marble statues of my two dogs, Milo and Nala, overlooking the mountain towards, I think it's the other way actually, sort of the eyes towards Amsterdam. I haven't decided exactly that, but I think that would be sort of a nice honor towards Roger. And if Roger, if you are listening or watching this, you're always welcome at my mansion. So anyway, so this is goodbye. Thank you for everything. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for putting up with all my rantings and ramblings. And I'll be thinking of you when I'm lying outside my mansion, looking up the mountains, feeding the alpacas, and watching the snow fall. I love the sound of snow falling, that sort of thing. Anyway, so I'll be doing that, of course, until April the 1st ends. And then my real life will continue like nothing has changed. Because, of course, nothing has changed. It is April the 1st.